Back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional day. Today's word of the day is segment. Stands for a part in which something can be divided into specific sections. And the main reason why I chose this word today is because we try to bog ourselves down in a multitude of things in life, whether it's education, a job, friends and family, a multitude of things. And one thing I've learned, I say this a lot during the pandemic, was being able to appreciate, quality of life. You cannot put a price tag on quality of life. And society, in a sense, in certain segments of society right now, in my personal opinion, are starting to regress. And when I say regress, it's like they're trying to go back to the way things were back in 2019, as we are in the month of December of 2023. And because people are, society is regressing, they wonder why people have a lot of hopelessness or is not as ambitious as people, should be. And it's just because people, today's word of the day, should be regressing because people are going backwards because, they're putting certain segments of society, they're dividing certain segments of society to bring people back to the norm, especially certain organizations fighting telework. We are in a time frame where people got used to being able to work from home. People's quality of life went up. And a lot of organizations, and I actually commend the organizations that put quality of life over and people over the mission, quote unquote. Because my mindset is as long as the job is getting done and the bottom line is not being tampered with, then there's no reason to try to go back to the norm. And because of that, you had a lot of people. I've made videos about this. I remember, it was like a year or two ago when people, the whole bucking the system of telework. A lot of people. This one gentleman who lived in Montgomery County, Maryland, took a $20,000 to $30,000 pay cut because he's like, hey, I don't want to go back to working in the office. I got used to this beautiful quality of life, being able to work from home. Being able to travel more without having to even take leave, because a lot of people who work, especially for private corporations, are able to, they could go to Mexico, they could go to Nigeria, South Africa, Japan, wherever. And as long as the job is getting done in the specific time frame that the employer wants it to get done, and they're on call for the specific time frame that the employer needs them, then what are they going to say? It's like, so... And for the organizations that don't have that mindset, especially, when it comes to certain white collar jobs. Now, if your organization cannot, and I mean has no other option, but you have to be there physically, I get that. But when your organization was able to, I like to say, evolve and adapt and overcome the new way of doing things during the global lockdown, then why would you want to regress back to the way that things were back in 2019? And that is, it's like a lot of people, anybody who's regressing right now, it's especially the high inflation and cost of living, it just puts people in a backwards position. I always say, if you're not operating like a corporation, then the next generation is going to fade away throughout the entire nation, regardless who's in the White House, governor's house, and mayor's house, who's sitting in Congress, whatever the case may be. These things are just formalities at this point. Elections are just formalities at this point. Because whether you're in Texas, California, New York, Florida, business is going to get done. Capitalism is going to thrive and stay alive. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is the American way. And that's what makes America an awesome country to live in because of that. I always say, we are living in a time now where people don't even have to speak the English language, don't have to have a college education, don't even have to have a high school diploma, and can make money moves in various different amounts of ways. So that's what makes America one of the greatest countries on earth because of that. So when you're a part of an organization that is regressing back to 2019, that means you're trying to keep people in a certain mindset. In your mindset, regardless if you have a business or have a job, if your mindset is not forward thinking, and if you're a part of organizations that don't have a forward thinking mentality, then therefore you are in the wrong place. And that's just, and I'm starting to feel that vibe now going into 2024. It's like, am I in the wrong place because the organizations that I'm a part of do not have a forward-thinking mentality? And you have to ask yourself that question too, because you have to look at the certain segments, going back to the word of the day, segments of society that are they progressing, or are they regressing, or are they remaining stagnated? These are things that only you can answer, because these are very subjunctive questions. And I try to make things as black and white as possible, but not everybody's situation is as black and white. So I leave it at that. Today's quote of the day is by Khalifa. He says, your life is a puzzle. Don't waste your time trying to place people where they don't fit. Man. And I used to, when I was younger, when I was especially a teenager, and even in my early 20s, I tried to place people where they did not fit. As I got into my late 30s, and now that I'm 40 years old, and next month I'll be 41. Can't believe it's almost been a year already. Yeah, because matter of fact, because today's the 12th. No, today's the 11th of December, so tomorrow's the 12th. My birthday's on the 12th, so there it is. But yeah, so long story short, you never try to please people where they don't fit, because if they're not fighting to be around, if you know you're a genuine, decent person, if they're not fighting to be around you, then don't be around them, period. Now, a lot of times, like a person like myself is always really busy, so I really don't have time to do a lot of specific things. I'm always on the go. But yeah, people are not trying to be around you, kick them to the curb, man. It's not even that serious anymore. I had to learn that with a lot of people. Because at one time it felt like I was, in a sense, not groveling or begging, but it felt like I was going all out of my way to have certain people in my life. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not that serious. Life's too short. So do the great free things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.